Rememorex. Lauren gossips at a track meet. Rader and Eisley meet an old friend at the toy store. And Donna receives a mysterious package. But I guess the real question is, who would win, Jaws or a stormtrooper? I guess we're about to find out, this time on Rememorex.
It is Thursday, October 13th, 1983. It's a quiet morning. It's starting to get a little bit chilly in Elias Thorne Junior High and in Clearfield in general. The kids are a little bit quieter on their way to school today, and nobody knows why. It's like the first kids that got here are quiet, and it's that sort of pervasive, infectious Rader and Eisley. You guys have plans, I'm going to say, to, after school, go trade your tape for money and then go pick up the stuff you want. Lauren, your time is secure, but you're still practicing for the big track meet. At the mall last night, Maddie and Donna, you found the book. You have been up all night reading it.
We are wired.
We were both up all night?
Well, I figured you were up all night reading.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's really Donna's style. She probably just let you.
Oh, well, that's right, because we said that you wouldn't have stayed over because it was a Wednesday. So
You were afraid that your mother was going to chop off your beautiful hair because of the
lice incident.
Yeah.
And her tendency to panic.
But she never heard about it. So your hair is safe.
My hair's safe for another day.
How much money do I owe her brother? For crappy mole pizza and a paperback book, $5. Okay.
$5.
I owe him money.
Donna probably didn't get much sleep last night, being afraid that that box was still somewhere in her house.
The best thing that happened was that late last night, your dad came and picked you up from the Maitland house.
Oh.
My dad?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm now. Did he bring me back to my house?
Yeah. He was very quiet. And he was like, I don't want to say anything yet. Your mother is
It was a very awkward drive. Neither of us speaking.
not at the house tonight. But... So.
Ordinarily, Maddie would have told him about meeting that environmental scientist cool guy.
Yeah.
But things are a little awkward. Life is weird now with her dad.
And he has dropped you off in front of the school where everybody's really quiet. You can see there's a couple of cop cars out front, which is not a good sign.
No. Also, she has the book on her. And
Okay.
she's underlined important passages. I don't know what, because I obviously don't actually have this physical book since it doesn't actually in real life exist, sadly. But just, you would know what it is.
Last night you slept maybe a total of 45 minutes, and it wasn't continuous.
Okay.
You read the entire book. Parts of it didn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't jibe at all with the other books that you've read that are about, like, plucky kids fighting weird supernatural monsters in a town that is a lot like Clearfield. This one deals with people, like, it's the same kids, but you can tell they're, like, now they're, like, getting into their, like, early to mid-20s. And the story deals with them, specifically the Cavalier character, who, he was like the paladin back in the day, trying to settle down, and he's got a girl that he met in college who was going to ask her to marry him, and he takes her home to meet his family, and the rest of the group says that something's gone wrong and they need his help because he's the paladin and he doesn't want to do it anymore. And it ends with a serial killer stalking the town, killing off two of his friends, and then killing his would-be fiancée, and him confronting the serial killer, who is also the Thin Man, but is also maybe him. And he fights it by taking an enormous amount of drugs, like altered state style, like some hellish combo platter of LSD and scopolamine and cocaine and ayahuasca and whatever else he can get his hands on, and starts the day over the next morning next to his presumably dead fiancée, having undone all of that, at least in his own mind, and starting over with her and choosing to go back to her house instead. It doesn't fit at all with the rest of the stories you've read that are much more like, we're kids, but we have neat, fantasy warrior powers and we fight monsters and they don't... Like, this one was way more disturbing.
That's really creepy. And does it say, so he didn't really defeat the Thin Man so much as he took a shit ton of drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm definitely wired right now from no sleep.
You can see there's a small cluster of people sitting around, and you can see that Billy Sawyer, Zach McClunk, and Aki Ackerman all have little Tron bikes. And there's groups of people all talking.
Zach McClunk has one now.
There's a few, you can see there's a Hostess cupcake and a Twinkie being waved around as different bets.
I'm gonna find my friends.
Well, they're over there by... It's all of the rest of them are there by the Tron bike races.
I'm gonna walk over to them and just quietly join the group.
Egan is pointing at Sawyer's bike. You have to be able to get it open and show us the pilot inside before you use the bike. Those are the rules. We all agreed on this. And Sawyer's like, dude, just chill out, man. Dude, I have a thing in here. Look, that's slime. It's goop. That's not a pilot. No, it's like a manglory. It's called a manglory. We just mashed him in. Well, all right, fine. Then take him out. Ugh, fine. Sid, get the hook. Sid takes a knife and just starts digging out the Manglort. Well, it can't come apart. We already agreed after yesterday you can't break it apart. No, these guys join back together. We all know that's a lie. What are you guys doing?
Donna's just kind of are there benches out here?
Yeah, there's a couple of benches.
I'm just sitting on one of the benches close by, but not really watching and paying attention. Also pretty sleepy, basically just sitting until the bell rings and she can go inside.
Hey, everybody. Can we come over here for a second? As I'm heading towards Donna's seat.
Okay.
You're already sitting next to Donna.
Well, that works.
Not I want to sit next to her and sleep. Did you sleep last night?
No, I was too afraid of box wires tangling my ankles, pulling me under my bed.
I was up all night reading that book.
What?
It was not helpful.
What book? I might have something to make everyone feel worse.
Great.
Or better.
Amazing.
I listened to and followed the cheerleaders back to the room yesterday. Back to their room after they called to the principal's office. They didn't know I was behind them, and they were quite adamant that they weren't in front of your house.
Well, we already know that they
liars,
that, but they're liars.
Jerks.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure I saw, on the same day, a person who looked like a janitor come through a wall. So is it possible that if Tiffany's been missing and they've said they weren't there, is it possible that something in the grand spectrum of nonsense, like the Thin Man could have made the images of them in our minds.
What do you think is more likely, that we had all had the same delusion at the same time, or that they were actually in our yard and they were lying?
Well, have you had anything else happen that's weird like that?
Just the weird thing that happened to us yesterday, but that wasn't like a mass delusion of people that we actually know in real life. That was just the...
There was a weird box. Somebody sent a box to my house, and it was weird. And it was like, there were like wires coming out of it, and they were trying to attack us, sort of.
It was the
but
same...
then it disappeared.
It was the same as when we saw the Thin Man at Rader's
Was
house.
it? Was it like?
What did it smell like?
Did it smell like anything?
The box?
Yeah.
What's more
Mildew.
likely, that we
was
saw
like
that we all saw
mildewy
something, or that we
smell.
all had a mass delusion?
So we're going back to the whole concept of like.
But I mean, if they're
like the lake
weird,
again.
but if they're weird zombies, maybe they were there and don't remember.
Oof.
Wait,
That makes sense to me, actually.
what did you say?
The lake.
Like Madeleine?
Yeah,
From the video?
from the video.
From the video cassette that came to my
Because you
house.
said if it looks like
We
mildew.
haven't watched that yet.
then- Wait, what?
The video cassette that came to my house. That said
Oh,
like
right,
Madeline
the
on
one
it.
that was all messed up and broken through, wasn't it?
Oh, it was broken. We wouldn't be able to watch that.
I mean, we could
Maybe you
try to
can really
restring
hire-
the tape. But...
Maybe we can bring it to that. You can bring it to that video store, and maybe they could fix it.
Well, I do have to go back there later.
What's up, Rader?
Maddie.
What?
The lake.
What
The lake. The guy. The lake. The lake. The lake. The doctor. The lake. The
Dr.
lake
Newton.
doctor. Dr. Newton. Dr. Newton. Yeah, you know stuff about the lake.
That's true. We should go to the
English,
lake.
please.
Lake.
The
It's
doctor
right
you
here.
met.
We
Wait,
s-
the
We met,
scientist.
we met this really cool lake doctor. Really cool. He drinks coffee. And it's, he gave Maddie his card.
He did. It just said Dr. Newton, the lake.
Well, then
Should we
You
go to
have
the
the
lake?
card still.
I show it to them. It literally just says
The lake.
Dr. Newton. Or does it say his full name?
Just as Dr. Newton, and then underneath that, the lake.
Maybe we should go to the lake.
He's the lake man.
Let's go to the lake.
Dr. Newton.
after
Well, I
school.
mean, we've got to a 27 anyway, so that's like kind of on the way.
Let's go to Lake Madeline
It's
after
kind of like
school.
splits, but you know, we gotta go to Global Video,
Wait after practice?
and we've gotta go to Global Video.
What if we go with the boys to Global Video and then you meet us there at the lake?
Okay.
Well, does anyone happen to have $4?
Yeah.
If I had any
Why
money,
do you-
I'd have to give it to her brother.
Yeah, we owe
I
Peter
owe
for
him
a
money.
book and pizza.
So here's the situation.
I'll give you a clock.
He'll give you a slot for $4.
You should.
We already have one of your clocks at home.
His clocks are really great. You should buy
Very
another
nice.
one.
The bell rings on his clocks are really great, and the kids all start like running into school.
You should buy another one of his.
As you guys are all sort of getting up from the table, Sid Clifford walks away from the Tron bikes towards the group of you. Sup, losers?
Hey, nerd.
Upset.
Did you just call Sid Clifford a nerd?
I don't know where that works.
We're throwing insults around.
Dude, Maddie looks
I'll
absolutely
let it
terrified.
slide.
You look terrified. I look terrified. We're both like
We both look Donna and Maddie both look haggard,
and terrified.
terrified, and just like they should probably not be at school from how little
He
they
gives
slept.
that like, I'll let this one by. All right. He shifts to like as you're walking in. So you guys heard about the assembly?
There's an assembly.
There is an assembly. No,
Oh.
it wasn't about the lice.
Oh, is it about Tiffany?
It's about Tiffany.
Is it about? Oh, that's what Dr. Newton was here for. The assembly.
Wait, what about Tiffany?
She's been missing for like 3 days.
She's not missing. She was outside my house 2 days ago.
Bluebird, Cheddar, Kingsland, Mobile. Does it mean anything to you?
Is that like a song title? What do you?
I was watching the weather one day.
When Sawyer pulled your hair, he was trying to get things that hit you on the head.
Oh yeah,
One
yeah.
of them said
We learned his lesson.
those 4 words. And it pointed us in the direction of Red Getty again. So,
Red Kitty,
yeah.
the global video kid.
Yeah. We're gonna go see him later.
Good luck.
The weird box that came to my house. All it had was my
Good
name
luck,
on it.
man. Good luck.
And
And he
it-
just walks in.
And it just said BCKM.
Bluebird.
Chatter.
Chatter. Kinsland Mobile.
But what does that mean?
No idea. That's why I've kept saying different
Wait.
combinations of it. Because the thing on the tape.
Mrs. Hedgepath is sort of moving you kids. All right, come on, guys. Off to
Because the one
homeroom.
said 12 Omaha Epsilon Alpha.
Did you say Red Getty?
Yeah.
Didn't when we were in the principal's office and Sheriff Clifford was in there? Didn't he warn us about Red Getty?
He did. But
He told us that he was bad, like a bad kid, and that they were like the cops are looking for him.
Oh. Well, then you better not tell them anything.
well, we didn't really have anything. We don't know who that is.
I'm talking about right now.
Well, I wouldn't tell. I mean,
You
Oh,
owe me 3 ice creams.
3 ice creams.
That's $104.
Thank you very much.
you should have bought one of Rader's clocks.
You should have bought a clock.
And
I
to
had one
also
iPad
thank you
clock.
for the
I've
rest
gotten
of the
better.
day, I will talk like this. Pocket.
If I had money,
She
I
was
would
very
buy one.
adamant about me not, speaking with my normal voice, so I'll speak like this.
People will make fun of you less if you don't talk like that.
Well,
Why would you put on a fake accent for someone else? That's silly.
Well, I mean,
Because we're horrible. And I'm grown up to class.
Fourth period arrives fairly quickly, and they all just sort of hustle everybody into the big assembly room. You guys go into the auditorium for the big assembly, and you can see that there's like a bunch of different like important looking grown-ups up on the stage talking. You can see that Sheriff Clifford is up there, and as soon as he walks in, you just see like Sid just kind of, Dad's here, like doing that, like. You can also see that up on the stage are Mr. and Mrs. Cates.
Oh.
I waved Talia over to our group.
She comes over. The tallest and blondest student in your grade is heading towards your group and crouches way over.
Come sit with us.
Oh, yeah, sure.
hi Talia, how's it going? Oh, I promised you.
Hi.
Hi Talia, how's it going? I made a promise that I would not use my normal accent for a little bit of the day.
Why?
Money and ice cream.
Who's paying? I just think you should just, you should talk the way that you always talk, because it's good.
I have been given that permission to speak as I normally do. So hello, Talia.
Oh, hi.
Would you like to sit with us?
What's
He's
happening?
being really weird.
She does that like big goofy like hi, and then just turns to the three of you and is like,
I pat her on the shoulder like, I know.
And side thumbs up.
I just whisper, I'm like,
what is he like? What is he like?
You're being really weird. He likes crime. He likes Star Wars. He has a dog. He likes dogs and crime and Star
Crime,
Wars.
Star Wars. What's the name of the crime dog from Star Wars?
answer the question.
Do you
You know the answer.
do you mean Chewbacca the Wookiee?
Yeah, I love him. He's
Crime
my
dog?
favorite dog criminal. He's friends with the smuggler, right?
Yeah, Han Solo.
Yeah, I've seen
that's
those movies.
close. Yeah, pretty much
Before.
actually. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have which one was your favorite?
All the girls are silently cheering her on and giving her thumbs up for the audience.
Do you
at
remember
home.
the one when Jefferson Starship played? I love that one.
She's just like, Maddie just makes this like grimace. Oh no.
Donna's super into it. I was like, I like that one. There were all the songs.
There's so many
offended.
songs.
B. Arthur sang.
Oh no, I forgot that Jefferson Starship was in the Christmas special.
Yeah, the Christmas special wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was good.
And then
I like
Princess
that.
Leia sang that
I
pretty
looked at
song
Rader and
again.
goes, what the fuck
And
do I
and
do?
I just have my head down.
Really good. The Boba Fett cartoon.
I look
Vice Principal Gleason comes out and gets on the sorry. Everybody, can we please keep it quiet? Can you quiet down, kids? This is an important assembly. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Glenda? And Miss Cates stands up. She has like that sort of refined look and movement of somebody who clearly spent a lot of time probably in the 60s and 70s. Essentially on the most wrong side of the 60s and 70s that you could possibly be. So she was like, while the rest of the world was doing like civil rights and like, you know, the ERA, she was just really mastering the beauty pageant circuit during that time and carries herself in that way. Making it all the more obvious that like her mascara is just streaked to such a degree that like there are definitely members of the Burnouts who thought that she was like really into Alice Cooper.
Wait, is Tammy Faye Baker a thing yet?
Not yet.
Not
She's on her way.
Precursor.
Well, I guess probably Tammy Faye Baker is enough of a thing to people like Miss Cates. So yeah.
She's rocking that Tammy Faye Baker.
There wasn't the
Yeah.
downfall of the Bakers hadn't happened yet.
Yeah,
they were out there.
they got famous like, you know, in
because of the...
they were a big deal in the South and like in the like evangelical circuit, but like they didn't get to be like famous outside of that until the scandal. But she comes up and holds up a picture of Tiffany. This is my daughter. Her name is Tiffany. And she is a good girl. And I don't know where she is, so if any of you have any information that would lead to her recovery, please go to your teachers or the police and please say something. Because I don't know anything. And she smacks the picture onto the podium and then like runs back to her husband who and then like you see like the three cops clearly angrily arguing over who has to talk next. And then finally Deputy Cullen makes his way over to the podium. Hi, students of Dr. Elias Thorne Jr. High. I am Deputy Virgil Cullen of the Sheriff's Department. I've met some of you. Some of you I know through your dad. Sid, where's Sid? Yep, there. Yep, he's trying to hide under his chair. I see you. Sid's just like, is he still talking about me?
Yes.
Damn it! Okay. We are going to go over a program that has been in the news a little bit. And we are just going to go over some of the finer, more salient points of what to do when a stranger tries to talk to you or get you to go in a van or a car with them, even if they are offering candy or comic books. What do you guys like? Video games now? If they have a puppy, do not go anywhere with a stranger. And at that, Mr. Booker and Vice Principal Gleason are standing on either side of him. Like, you know, they start to go into the usual rundown of like, you know, if somebody asks you to get in the van, do you do it? And the entire group's like, no. He's like, good, okay, no, don't get in the van. If somebody asks you for help looking for their puppy or their kitten, do you help them? No, tell them to come find an adult.
If a grown man asks you to help him with his briefcase, do you do it?
No.
No, because he's a grown man and he can handle his own briefcase. Briefcases, not even once. This has been brought to you by the Society Against Ted Bundy. Sorry.
Thank you, Vice Principal Gleason. That was valuable information about briefcases. I'm sorry I don't really do assemblies much. But we have somebody here who can speak to the situation. Kurt Booker, You know him as your school counselor. Counselor Booker's like skinny guy, balding, comb over. White guy, mustache. Very unassuming. Takes the podium. How many people here knew Tiffany Cates? Everybody raises their hands. At least everybody in your grade. Like it significantly goes down with the kids the length of grades above them. All right. We are currently looking for anyone who has any information as to where she's gone. She's been missing since last Friday.
When was the night of the party? Was that Friday?
That was Friday.
That was Friday. That's what I thought.
We've talked to some of her friends. We've talked to her parents. If anybody here knows anything, please come find me or talk to your teachers or talk to Deputy Cullen or Sheriff Clifford. Anyone who you think can help. We don't currently know where Tiffany is, but we think that she would like to come home as soon as possible. And as he's saying that, he kind of keeps looking back at the parents who are smiling at him like, well, thank you for that. The assembly is going on at, it's usual. Like they show like a movie about like how to not get in a van with a stranger.
You'd think you just not.
Just say no to stranger.
Yes.
No, my mommy is waiting for me right there. I have to go to her.
There's a million possible
Yes.
ways to say no.
To a stranger.
Always say no.
No, thank you. I'm allergic.
After the assembly drags on for a little bit longer, you're sitting, in a row, and at the end of the row between, so it's Maddie, then Donna, then Rader, then Lauren, then Eisley, and then on the other side of you is Talia. Give me a perception check.
16.
16?
Yeah.
She, quote unquote, accidentally puts her hand on yours while you're sitting at the.
Smooth.
By accident.
Who's that other girl that you went on a date with?
Natalia.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that was
all.
Yeah,
Natalia.
she's what I wanted to date with.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Talia. Me and Kathy are going to McDonald's on Friday. Do you maybe want to join us?
Tomorrow.
Well, I guess if nothing else is happening, if nobody else wants to, I don't know, maybe go to the Centauri, we could.
Hey, Eisley, do you want to join us for, milkshakes and nuggets?
Well,
Be the four of us.
just the four of us. I mean, I kind of like the idea, but I don't know about you. I think it would be a much better choice if we went to Perry's and the Centauri.
I like Perry's.
Yeah, the pizza place is great. Well,
I already got plans.
Mostly.
You two could probably go, though.
Yeah, would you?
Yeah, that would be great. And she reaches around behind you and just grabs your shoulder thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I do owe you a few games after all. We were supposed to play as much as we could during the
We
party.
were.
And then a bunch of nonsense happened.
So much nonsense. This is really freaky.
Yes, it is.
Do you think a perv stole Tiffany or something?
Well, I honestly hope not. That would be terrible.
It would. But do you think there might be a perv in Clearfield?
I mean,
Probably in Gossipville.
Yeah.
excuse me. I am from Gossipville.
You're from New York.
You're from Gossipville?
Well, yeah, we moved in there. Dad works at Lockheed. It's the whole thing.
So you're from the street. Cool.
Literally, yes.
What are you guys talking about?
Eisley's from the street.
Yeah.
He lives in a trailer.
Miss Blackston.
Oh,
It's actually Vice Principal Gleason who from the podium. Are we boring you with your missing classmate? She's just pure white face. Raw terror. No.
I raised my hand up next to her. She was airing her concerns about her and worried about if someone could have taken her, since we both saw her at the birthday party on last Friday. So she was really worried about it. I'm sure she doesn't mean a thing.
All right. After the assembly, come talk to me.
I will.
Both of you. She has completely collapsed. It just kind of puts her head on your chest. I can't believe you did that. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. It's Gleason. He's hell.
Gleason, he is the most terrifying human in the world.
Yes, but sometimes hell's okay.
Okay. Whew. It's time to Gleason.
You're telling the truth. You're worried.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm worried. What were we talking about?
Oh, we're going to date on Friday. But still, tell her, talking about the fact that you're worried that she might have been taken after it.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You said the word.
I did.
Okay. Everybody, head to lunch. 6th period will continue as normal. And all of the kids flood out of the room and make their way to their various, they were all pretty much going to lunch, I guess, together at this point, because there's staggered lunch periods, but...
I hang back and try to get the attention of Deputy Cullen.
Okay. They're all sort of standing around the stage. As soon as the thing ends, Gleason comes stalking directly over to you. Comedically, Talia, who is like a full head taller than you are, is kind of hiding behind you, but not well.
Of course.
Mr. O'Keefe, Miss Blackston.
Mr. Gleason? Sir?
Do you know anything about this situation? If you have any information, it would be ideal if you were to bring it directly to the police or any authority figures that you can as soon as possible.
No, of course, sir. Just the last time we saw her, she was heading to the after party.
After party?
There was an after party after the party at the Centauri for Nellie's birthday.
Virgil. Deputy Cullen comes over. As he's walking over, he walks past you.
Deputy Cullen, I would like to talk to you
Stops.
about something.
Right,
yeah, come with me.
Okay.
And he walks over.
It's
Gleason stands there. Deputy, these are two of my students. This is Charles O'Keefe, and this is Talia Blackston. It's actually Blackstone. He just gives her a look. No, Blackston's fine. And this is Donna Maitland. This is Deputy Virgil Cullen. His demeanor is softened a little bit when he sees that you're there.
There's, something that I wanted to let you know about. I know that, Maddie, that we talked about, the girl showing up outside her house, but the day...
I actually discussed that with the kids in question. They don't seem to recall that having happened.
They also showed up at my house the day after the party, and they were saying things about Tiffany, but she wasn't with them then. And this was the night after the party, and my mom opened the door and let them in. She could definitely tell you that they were definitely at my house that morning, and it was just Portia and Tabby and Melanie, and Tiffany wasn't with them, but they were talking a lot about her.
Interesting. He's writing stuff down in his little... So, you're taught this is Saturday morning.
This is Saturday morning.
So Saturday morning, Portia Chandler, Melanie Sheedy, and
Tabby
Gibson came to your house, but they could not find Tiffany.
No, they weren't saying that they couldn't find her. They were saying that she wasn't strong enough.
Sorry?
What?
They
Strong enough for what?
to watch a scary video at Melanie's house at the sleepover, and they were acting very strange.
At this point, you can see that this has caught Sheriff Clifford's attention. He's coming down the stairs.
And that Tiffany wasn't strong enough to watch, but they never said what happened to her but they were definitely with her at least the night before, on Friday night.
Degenerate video stores ruining good old American movie theaters, I'm sure, says Sheriff Clifford as he's talking. Deputy Cullen steps to the side and just keeps taking notes, but isn't saying anything as Clifford steps forward. I know your dad. He runs the movie theater.
Yes.
Yeah, I was out there when that drunk guy was in the back and he wouldn't leave. You remember me?
Yes.
I'm Sheriff Clifford.
Yes.
She's terrified.
Oh yeah, he's a horror.
Yeah.
He's a scary man.
She is very.
You now have Sheriff Clifford and
Principal Gleason.
She
She
this
is
is
not
kind of
happy
your
about-
worst
yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah,
this
she's-
happened before though. In the
That's true.
Once already.
Yeah.
That's right, because that when they were talking, but she's never gonna get used to it.
Gleason.
And now it's like I don't even have Maddie there. Like
Gleason is backed off.
Yeah.
Gleason is clearly like he just came over to sort of give Eisley the whole like I got my eye on you,
That's like information.
and then just when he realizes that you actually have useful information, he backed off. So it's just Clifford who is doing his best to be ingratiating to you because he likes your dad. But it's just not working.
No.
He's just coming off as more scary and authoritative.
He's coming
Eisley
off
just-
more aggressive.
Yeah.
Eisley just pats you on the back.
She like
He
the
jumps, I
minute.
know.
Yeah, the minute that somebody
Hey.
touches you.
You don't have to lie to him.
I'm not
I know you're
lying.
not.
I'm not lying about anything.
This-
I'm not lying about
Oh,
anything.
no, you're not.
No,
sir,
no.
I wouldn't lie about this. This is very. I know. I'm taking this all very seriously, and I'm very scared, and I'm
So
very
they watched a
concerned.
video. Where did they get the video?
I'm not sure.
Was it Trimax?
I don't think so.
Are you sure? I
I
have reason to believe that one of the clerks there is a drug addict who's addicted to marijuana.
I don't know anything about that. But I mean, the reason I wanted to tell you wasn't as much.
Movies were meant to be watched in a theater, don't you think?
I mean, I just like movies.
I don't know if the movie was the most important thing.
Like she is struggling to get these words out because they are in her mind very much a lie.
But I think it's more important that you know that the other girls were at least with Tiffany until sometime Friday night into Saturday morning.
We've questioned them pretty extensively. They say that Tiffany vanished at some point Friday night. That she left the sleepover and never returned. They assumed that she had gone home because the movie was too scary. But this is the first I'm hearing about something, somebody being not strong enough. What sort of movie were they watching?
It was a very...
Colin shrugs. I mean, is this what we're talking about? Is this enough of them? Do you think they might have found us enough of them?
Donna's face is telling so many things. She is not able to pull a face that is not confirming everything that they are thinking as far as this movie goes. She has no poker face.
And you can tell that, like, you know, Clifford is just all of his worst fears are confirmed. Like, the communists have brought snuff films to Clearfield County, and I'm the only one that can stop it.
Jesus Christ.
That is a great TV show.
Yeah.
It's
Minus him
Al
beating the
Clifford
shit out of
versus
his
the
son.
communists.
I'd watch it. It's Quinn Martin production.
Thank you. This has been very helpful, Donna.
You're welcome.
You're a brave girl.
Thank you.
You know anything?
I was going to tell you about the fact that we only saw her last at the actual party. So you have that information already, I guess.
Yes, we've got that. Colin puts his hand out. Actually, no. There was something else. Somebody said something about her showing up on somebody's lawn.
Maddie.
Do either of you know anything about that?
We were at Maddie's house, and all the girls were there.
The Ramos girl.
Yes.
Maddie was having a very bad day, and so we went to her place to kind of try to make her feel better. And while we were there, their cheerleaders showed up.
We just thought that
at
they
the
were all
house.
there, to kind of tease us. I didn't take, I took it a little seriously when all the girls showed up at my house, but I thought that they were just being mean because they could be mean sometimes, and sometimes they're mean to Maddie, and that's all we thought when they showed up at Maddie's house, but now all of this, and so we're just trying to, let everybody know what we saw and when.
Cullen
He shrugs.
leans forward. I mean, we can't rule out the possibility that maybe this is just a hoax perpetrated by these girls to haze this friend. Kids can get weird. And Clifford is already staring into the middle distance. What's more likely to you, Cullen, that it's a hoax perpetrated by a bunch of preteen girls to mess with some weird social group of theirs, or that communists have brought snuff films to Clearfield? And he storms off. Cullen's like, the first one actually sounds a lot more reasonable, but we all know what side you're on.
Sorry to be a Cullen. You seem more right.
I'll tell you a little thing about being a cop. I personally think it's probably the latter, but I need to do everything in my power to make sure that it's not the former first.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because that's what my boss thinks, but because if that's the case,
Deputy
you're
Cullen,
what needs to stop it, right?
I wouldn't entirely rule out everybody trying to just trick me and Maddie and doing mean stuff like that, but I don't think that Tiffany would scare her parents like this.
That's very true.
Yeah, I don't think that... I think it might have started as a prank, but I think things have gotten out of hand, and I think there's other elements that we don't understand. We don't have the entire story yet, but everything you guys have said has been very helpful. We're going to take this down to the station. We're going to check it out a little bit more, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you have my number, right?
Yes.
Okay. 3 numbers, 911. If anything happens, you call that first. If anybody asks you to get into a car or to go somewhere with them that you don't recognize, get away, tell them whatever they want to hear, but do not go with them. Get away and call that number, all right?
Okay.
That goes for all of you. You too, Stretch. And Talia stands up to her full height. Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't. All right, I'm going to go talk to the parents there.
Yeah. Class us.
The rest of school goes by fairly quickly. Are you guys doing anything while you have the time in school? Are you doing anything specific?
I actually wanted to talk to Maddie about, since everybody was kind of had their own thing.
Yeah, of course.
I was going to say
So you guys are out by the lockers?
Yeah, I was going to ask her if she wanted to check out the environmental center or the lake while everybody's off doing
You
their
guys
thing.
have stopped off by the lockers.
Like on what are we, Thursday right now?
Yeah.
Is he asking her to go to the lake on Friday night as a date?
An investigation, but yes.
You've stopped by the lockers.
Okay. Man, Talia's sure acting real funny.
Yeah, she's got a super big fat crush on Eisley. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
She acts so weird around him.
Yeah, I guess they're going to do something. Are you busy Friday?
On Friday night?
Yeah, I was thinking about going check out the lake thing.
Oh,
I don't
go
know
to
if you-
like Madeleine and explore?
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything
Well, no, I mean, I'd like
else
to do
to
that.
do.
That'd be fun, but I
What?
thought we were going to, to the environmental lake thing tonight after school.
Oh, you want to go tonight? You want to do that? That's cool.
Well, I thought we were all going. But I'd like to do it. I'd rather go on Friday with you if that's what you want to go and just
I mean,
do
it's up to you if you want to go today. If you want to.
team investigation.
I mean, I think Eisley wanted to do something. I
want to go to. Yeah, you're right. He wanted to go to Global Video today after school.
yeah. So maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
The lake?
tomorrow on the lake. Just you and me.
Yeah. If that's okay.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I mean, yeah.
The lake. Well, yeah, the lake's fun. There's a fun lake over there.
Yeah, it's and maybe is the lake like full or is it like
imagine.
What?
maybe we could like go swimming.
Swimming.
Oh wait,
It's
it is
October.
October.
It's October.
I mean, you
It's October in
could.
Delaware.
I was gonna go with it.
Be careful going swimming on lakes in October, because the raft takes place in October.
That is true. You were right. Oh wait, it's October.
Oh yeah, it's October. We can't.
Well, we could
I mean,
maybe
we
we
can,
could
but
pack
probably
like
not a good
food
idea.
and in case we get hungry on the investigation.
Oh, like a snack for the lake.
A lake snack.
Like snacks.
What kind of snacks? I mean, I have some Twinkies.
I can make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Sandwiches could be. Those are. I like sandwiches.
Like a picnic.
Tracking error. Pink Eye closes his locker, which is right by yours, says,
Bang.
"You guys are gross."
Yeah, you guys are so gross. Ugh.
You're gross. You're gross, lice eyes.
Shut
Oh.
shut up, nerd.
Damn.
Book nerd. Hey, look at the book nerd.
What's your name again?
Tony.
No, what's your name?
Tony.
No, what's your name?
Why are you doing this?
What's your name?
Rader.
No,
We went
what's
to
your
summer camp together.
What's your name?
Pink eye.
That's right. Don't you ever call her that? Your name is Pink Eye.
I'm sorry, Rader. Runs off, drops his books, starts to go back for him, thinks the better of it.
Wow, you defended me. Wow.
I love how the subtitle of this episode is the one where the boys defend people.
She holds your hand. Oh.
We hold hands.
We hold hands in the hallways.
That's
And I know that we walk by.
I think I'm actually red right now.
That was super fucked up, by the way.
In an amazing
So
way.
mean.
What's
That
her
was
name?
so good.
That was so mean.
You're learning from the mean person in your group.
You start heading away from the lockers as the bell rings, signifying the beginning of the lunch period and the changing of the mood of Dr. Elias Thorne Jr. High to one of paranoia and fear. And that will end this particular episode, I think.
All right.